I remember when the Arthur and Lucy case was on in Alabama, we stayed with Arthur Shores, a local black lawyer. And he had been very successful, so he had a very big house. And there were no hotels then, like you have now in Alabama.
Hotels that would take blacks.
Blacks, yeah. There was one black hotel where King stayed later. I've forgotten the name of it. But anyway, it was a motel. But anyway, we stayed with Arthur Shores, and his house was guarded by local black men who were members of the NAACP who volunteered. And they had shotguns, and they would be down in his garage with the door open, and you couldn't see them until you got to the crest of the hill. His house was built like on a hill. And you couldn't see the door of the garage till you got right on the hill. But there were these men with machine guns and rifles guarding the house. And that's how we got through in Alabama.
Were you a little nervous about staying in that environment?
Oh, sure. I had never seen a real gun in my life until I saw one in their hands. I had bought my son a play gun, you know, like every mother does, foolishly, in those days. But I had never seen a real gun in my life. My father never had a gun. His brother was in World War I. He had a gun, and when he came home, he gave his gun to his sister and never picked it up. And so guns was something that was not a part of my life. We weren't living in a place where people went hunting every day. We lived in the city of New Haven. If you lived out in the country, you know, that's different. Everybody'd go hunting, but we didn't live in the country. We lived in the city.
And so it must have been a very dramatic realization that you could seriously
I don't think
get
I
hurt.
slept that night. I think I went to bed, but I don't think I slept. You know, that kind of tension.
You were risking your life.
Well, yes, I realize that. But then so were the others. I mean, I remember being picked up at the airport by Arthur Shores' secretary one day. He couldn't come to the airport to pick me up. So she came, and we got in her car. She said, "Oh, my God, I forgot my bag on the counter. I got to go back and get it," she said. I thought it was just her lunch. She went back and got that little brown bag because her gun was in it. You see, that's the danger we were in, that real danger that somebody would, you know, recognize her, who she was and so forth, and then know maybe who I was, you know. And in Mississippi, I stayed with R. Jess Brown. That was during the Meredith case. He had a gun. And Robert Smith, another man I stayed with, he and his father owned a local grocery store, and they were very successful. He had a gun in his house. But Medgar never had a gun. Not in the house that I know of. He may have carried one later, but he didn't have any when I was with him.
Did you ever consider carrying a gun yourself?
No, no. Even now, as a federal judge, I'm authorized to carry a gun, but I don't.